This is Skipper Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to AWOL Airwaves on the DVC.
What a way to start!
That's brilliant.
It just.
Have we all got our life jackets ready?
No,
I don't want us to sink.
I'm good under.
Oh dear. Yeah. Who knows where this will go? I think sinking is perhaps the one thing I can put it on Twitter as we're going to sink the whole show in the next hour. So yeah.
Will it take us an hour?
No. So I'll start with the first one. If anybody doesn't laugh at any of the bad jokes, then I'm going to become their swimming instructor.
These are normal jokes. See, I love
We're
this dad.
here
You know
all
what?
night. Yeah.
John's
Just
proper dad joke.
My goodness, John, they're all dad jokes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're the only one of us that is technically a dad.
Oh no, it's brilliant. It's just, I just think it's so good, and I think I've got to be careful not to go too much into the park side of things rather than the film side of things. And I know for a fact we've got like loads of sort of crossover and loads of things that we can share tonight. And I think it's just an exciting way of celebrating not just the film, because I think there's probably some people who haven't watched the film maybe yet. So if you haven't watched it yet, just be aware there will be spoilers. So we do apologise for that in advance.
And maybe afterwards head to Disney Plus and watch it.
Yeah.
All the cinema is out.
Shall I get 20 quid? Get your 20 quid out. That's it. But yeah, it's worth seeing.
I like the fact that Zach actually went to see it yesterday.
Beautiful, Zach. That's the commitment right there.
That's that. I can beat that though. I only watched it this afternoon.
John.
I've been busy. I've been busy.
You have a good.
You can tell by your tan.
You've been out of the country.
It's just one of those ones, and then I ended up doing a leg it across to Liverpool and back inside 24 hours, and it's just like time ran out. Yeah. So I then opted. I had big plans to go to the cinema.
We put the tanned people on this side tonight, and the white people over there.
The white
isolating or hanging out.
Sammy's from Scotland. She's blue.
I'm basically Casper.
Scottish people go white when they get a tan. That's it. Yeah. Start off blue.
Start off blue, then get white.
Yeah.
Go.
Pretty much.
So
he's in the chat.
Should we say hello to
people? Yeah, let's say hi. There's a lot of people, I think.
It's brilliant. That's really good.
Popular.
I know.
Popular topic.
Hi.
Charlie.
First was Charlie.
Yeah. Hi, Charlie.
Shall I do my wave?
Yeah, just wave. So we've got Peter and Jill. Or is it
Hi, Peter and Jill.
Hi, Peter and Jill.
Jill somewhere else.
Hi, Tom. Oh yeah, Jill's staying. Hi, Tom.
Great to see you.
I missed. I
love this. Sammy's doing a YouTube wave.
Yeah.
This is how I do it.
Oh look.
Hi, Joe. You all right?
Away from me.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Colleen.
Oh.
Hey, Colleen. Nice to see you.
There's Jill.
There's Jill.
Jill.
Yeah.
I have this vision of Peter and Jill
Again,
sitting in
Zach.
different rooms.
Hi, as well.
They sit opposite ends of their house, not talking to each other, each with some sort of.
Oh.
In fact, Claire. To be fair, I think Jill's on Facebook and Peter's on YouTube. So
covering all bases.
Covering us.
Crossing the
streams.
Wow.
Yeah. Hi,
Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Who
Someone
else we
called
got?
Claire?
We've got loads of people.
I don't know. We don't know
Never
her.
heard of her.
No,
There's a Samantha in the chat as well.
No. We don't know her.
Oh,
I'm McGregor.
Hi, Kelly.
Sammy's multitasking.
Hey,
on both
Kelly.
as well. Hiya, Kelly.
Oh,
Hi, Dan.
hi, Dan.
Hiya, Dan.
My arm's starting to ache.
You need to have strong wrists.
I'm gonna.
See, that's why I don't bother.
no,
I don't
okay.
bother with all that. It's just.
There's Mark. Hi, Mark.
Oh, Mark from the
Pacific Northwest as well. Excellent. Thanks for joining us.
On brand with Here with the Magic today.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce.
with Neil.
Hiya, Bruce.
Neil.
Hiya, Neil and Co.
And Karen.
Karen.
Fantastic. Got so many people.
Yeah, wave at everyone.
So many people.
Yes,
this.
tons.
We've hit the
Fantastic.
topic.
Have you all seen Jungle
Jungle
Cruise? Let
Cruise.
us know in the comments. Let us know.
Oh, and
Oh,
Mark.
Mark.
And
Hi,
Mark.
Mark.
Hiya, Mark.
Mark has to get a wave.
Oh, that's
That's
brilliant.
brilliant.
Definitely. Loads of people.
I wonder
So,
if we're as popular as the film.
oh,
I don't think we're.
and Mark
there's
another
Sheffield's
Mark.
just joined us. Mark Sheffield's just joined us from Walt Disney World.
Oh,
We're
We're
on
all
Jungle
very
Cruise.
yeah.
Can we
Thank you
eject
for
him
it.
from the chat?
Yeah, it's just like,
just make us jealous. It's fine.
oh dear.
We're
Or maybe,
fine.
are we auditioning for skippers? So we're gonna.
Yeah,
Always.
let us know how we
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
has everybody seen it? Because let's face it, I've been waiting for this movie for like 2 years.
It feels
It's
like
been a
forever.
year
Since they
delayed.
announced it.
Oh my goodness!
I remember at
I-
D23 when it's just they had the Rock come on stage and just talk about this film, and it was like it's one of the highlights when we did that D23 podcast,
Yeah.
and it was like
Oh,
Epcot's
completely.
great, but film wise it was Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
Yes.
Because obviously when we do our Come Disney with me, we all obviously it's very clear that we all love Jungle Cruise. So
Yeah.
it was very exciting. This
Absolutely.
movie. Hi Valerie. Bye Valerie.
That's all right, Valerie. Come back and watch it on the replay when you've seen the movie.
Or just stick around if you don't mind the spoilers.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think it's worth just saying, obviously, it's got The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Jack Whitehall, who were all amazing. And
Next
I
level.
it's like dream casting.
It
was
really
amazing.
like to me, like they're one of the best trios I've ever seen on screen together, and in this kind of movie they're just fab. They just bounce off each other so well, and they're all just such great actors, but they're also just such great people. They're just fun to watch.
They just have that chemistry, and
Yeah.
it doesn't happen very often in films that they just bounce off each other so well.
Yeah.
That surprised me though, Sammy. I've got to say, because I wasn't
Really?
expecting that, and I was expecting. I'd probably. I've got to put it out there. I don't particularly like Jack Whitehall normally. I've got to say that. I think he's one of those people that's a bit too up himself. And actually, I wasn't expecting the acting performance from Dwayne Johnson either. And
Really?
and I've got to. I wasn't. No, I just wasn't.
That's shocking.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
Like,
And
and
actually,
most films that he's normally in normally does quite well.
yeah. But I've got to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I've got to say, I came away from the film and I thought, goodness, talk about knocking down barriers that you build up in your own mind to a film. You know, because I
Yeah.
love the Jungle Cruise as a ride. I love the whole notion of the film. And then you suddenly think, well, yeah, I'll watch it for Emily Blunt, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yes.
But I've got to say, and like you just said, Sammy, the three of them, the way they actually bounced off the script so much, and actually it absorbed you as a viewer more than I actually thought it would. And I think that's all credit to the script writers and all credit to the power of the whole film and the way that it was actually put together. And I think that for me, that for me came as the biggest surprise, because I was prepared tonight to be the one who was sat in this little corner of the screen. I had it all set up. I was going to be the one that was going to be the doomsayer and have the chance of just winding you all up, and I can't.
I can't.
No, you can't, because it's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's unusual for me, because normally I would try and pick fault in it, and I'll put it out early because I know sometimes you get Disney Dan sometimes watches us, and I read his review where he was very critical of the CGI in it, and I was thinking personally that's going to be a barrier for me, because I don't like poorly done CGI, and actually it wasn't. When you get over yourself and you actually start watching it and you get absorbed into it, it wasn't as bad as even the trailer on Disney Plus portrays it. And I thought, I need to reel myself in and not be that negative sort of voice, because I
Give
can't
it like a fair chance.
Yeah, and actually that's the biggest point of this, isn't it? Because I was really wanting to be the critical one tonight, and
If
I
it's
can't.
the way
I
Disney
can't.
have
Crazy.
gone with doing a ride to a film, I
Mhm.
wonder what else they're going to do next. Because we've had Haunted Mansion, which I think
Ben,
They
Yeah.
tend to do better.
you know, they want to do Splash Mountain.
Oh God, no.
Just saying.
no.
They
Well,
tend
but
to
no,
do
moving
better
on.
with the actiony kind of rides because they did really well with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And the
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise is different storyline, but it's on similar
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
It's an
It
action
is,
comedy
it is.
It had the
kind of
same
thing.
sort of vibe as well. in
Whereas
certain-
the plain comedy route that Haunted Mansion was didn't
Yeah.
really vibe with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but
I think
Yeah.
I've heard and certainly described the Jungle Cruise movie as sort of a mixture of Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean,
The Mummy.
the Mummy, right, the
Gives me
Mummy,
Mummy
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It is just really fun action.
Action,
old enough-
comedy, adventure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. For those
But
old
John, I
enough
wanna-
to remember the African Queen as well. If you're old
Oh
enough
yeah,
to
no, it's a
remember
complete
that,
rip-off
or
of
being,
that.
or
apparently,
being
but,
forced to watch that in an English class at secondary school, and it's just like, and
before
but
our
that's-
time, John.
But obviously, but I actually felt that little nod towards so many other films was so cool, because I was sat here, I was watching it and making a list, and my list has now got. I had Indiana Jones, and it was just like everything you've just said is just like playing bingo with
Romancing the
references
Stone
that
as well. You know, that was in there. You know, it was just we were sitting there going, yeah, it's like that, it's like that, it's like that, and they'd taken the good bits out of most of those movies and sort of created this approach that was. And it was suitable for everyone. So we stupidly took Millie and didn't check the rating. So here in the UK, it's a 12A, and Millie is 8, nearly 9. And we sat down. We're like, Morgan says, "Oh, what rating is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it'd be PG." And we looked and we're like, Actually, I was really
It's not
surprised
really
it was
that
a 12A. I don't really understand why. I think it's probably violence more than anything.
Snakes. That I don't know.
Well, I
just for
hate
you.
snakes.
That's just me. I don't like snakes. So that was.
Sorry. You know, but actually, I think it was a very Disney 12A. It was fine for her. She loved every minute of it. She laughed at the jokes, not quite as much as Morgan and I, but there's certainly nothing in there that would make me worried about letting her watch it again. So
not at all.
You know, I think a 12A was overzealous, perhaps. I am just looking at the puns that are going on in the chat, and I'm just trying to concentrate, and I can't.
Yeah, they're flying in fast
I
and
love
furious.
it, guys. I just love the Jungle Cruise.
Some
so
of
much,
those
so the fact-
more adult jokes probably went straight over Millie's head.
Oh, of
Exactly.
course, of course.
Yeah, and that's,
but they were
that's
so
even better.
funny.
They were hilarious.
There's a lot of like double entendres in there, and a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that the adults will like get a super kick out of, but the kids will literally have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So
No, and that's
It's really good.
they go. It's all different, superficial and slightly deeper levels, isn't it? But
Mhm.
yeah, I think they did a great job. They did a great job with the casting, great job with the script, the action, and even the soundtrack was all really good. And I was surprised by the storyline, even though it was part of the attraction. The storyline in terms of The Rock and who Frank was and his history, that surprised me, and I was so happy that there was something that I didn't know that was going to happen. And it was great.
Yeah, it was like not a twist, but like you think it's a very straightforward, plot, but then there's these wee like gems in there that you just didn't see coming, which makes it really exciting and it makes you want to keep watching.
Totally.
I wasn't expecting Trader Sam to appear. That just
That was
threw me off
amazing.
completely. It's like
Yes. And we were squealing when the hat came. We were like, "That's how they got the hat!" It's just like brilliant.
And something I want to touch on, John, what you were talking about there with CGI. I've been watching a lot of like interviews, promoing Jungle Cruise with like Emily Blunt and Jack Whitehall and stuff, and they talked about how they were never surrounded by green screens. It was all practical sets. which I thought was just amazing. You know, that whole first action point, you know, where they're trying to get away on the boat, you know, and the submarines there and everything. That was all practical sets and practical effects, which I just think is amazing.
Yeah,
old school.
Yeah,
I think it had to be though, and I think that's where it kept with the actual. It kept with the tone of the ride as well, and I think that's one of the things that really struck me is the fact that you could actually go totally OTT and make it into that Marvel-esque sort of complete sort of CGI stuff, and it wouldn't be appropriate. And I think that's the thing. No. It's appropriate for the film that it is, linked to the ride, and I think, as we've already just touched on, I actually think there's room for manoeuvre here for a series of films that can follow. And I think that's really been very clever. Yeah. Very, very clever.
That's something else. But I think the practicality of it all really takes it back, you know, to the heyday of movies. You know, like they were saying, you know, like because of the ride's an older ride, but it also does give you that, you know, Indiana Jones old school vibe, with everything being practical effects.
I think you're right, and I think it made a big difference in terms of how the interaction between the actors and also their environment, because actually sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't, but I think that it makes a big difference as an actor to be able to feel what you're doing rather than assume what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
sure. So what did everyone think of, you know, the story of the movie?
I think the story was good. It was good. Yeah, there was, like you said earlier, there were some surprising little twists, and then there were some bits that you could kind of, once those twists had come about, you can kind of work out where it was gonna end. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it, yeah. It was always gonna end with, big spoiler alert. Yeah. Frank and Lily getting together and surviving, and them all surviving. It was always going to end on a positive note.
Do we have a favourite moment from the film?
Yes. So I loved the moment where the three of them are on the boat and they've gone through all the rapids, and Frank is doing all his puns, and Emily Blunt's character sitting on the front of the boat, just rolling her eyes and tutting, and McGregor's creasing up, because that was me and Morgan. We were sitting there, we were laughing away because that was so funny. And it's just like, that is the absolute summary of the Jungle Cruise attraction for me, is that some people sit there cracking up. Yeah. And some people just sit there going, oh, that was an awful joke. And it was perfect, because that was exactly what happened. Yeah. So I loved that moment.
I think you could probably guess what my favourite part was. The part where Emily Blunt was, you know, trying to take the sword out of Dwayne.
That was my favourite part as well.
It was so funny, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It just shows, like, even though obviously they're playing characters, you can just see Dwayne and Emily shining through at that point, and you can just tell that the kind of relationship they have in real life, and it was just. It was just magic. It was so funny.
I know. It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was so much fun. What about you, Ben?
It felt very natural.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. I like the bit at the beginning where it's just, you get the backside of water. It's like it had to be
all the setup of his joke.
The setup of it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. See, before it happened, I was seeing it with Connor, and before it happened, I could see that it was coming, and I just whispered into his ear, "The backside of water." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Because he's never been in the ride, never been to America, like he doesn't know about it. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And then Dwayne said it, and he just gave me this look, and I was like, "Hey!" I was so pleased with myself.
I think as well though, there was that part that they led into it so well, and then there was and like Dwayne Johnson was sort of hammering home all of those corny dad jokes, and you got the people on the boat, just you could see them just like,
what is he all about?
And it was just like complete tumbleweed silence from all of them, and you're just thinking that is exactly what it is like on the actual Jungle Cruise when you're there with like loads of other families who just don't get it.
Yeah.
And they're waiting to be entertained, and you're rolling around and you're thinking, this is dead funny. And they're looking at you thinking, what on earth are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
And that for me was really funny because that the fact that people miss the joke. Yeah, it's my doorbell.
That's crazy.
This is delivery. So anyone there?
Oh my god, this is like the second time this has happened.
That's on live.
Oh my lord. Hysterical.
Oh, that person was looking in like, why is she talking to a computer? Beautiful.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, okay.
That's what we were saying. There you go.
I've completely forgotten what I was saying there.
Grumpy old
I know she was trying to pretend.
I have no idea what I was saying.
Oh.
That's exactly.
No, I don't know what you were saying either.
No.
Yes.
We were
That's the exact.
on the guy
Every British person's doing exactly the same thing.
Never know what I'm saying.
We just go into different places and we go to the cinema and watch a Disney film, and that's about as much Disney as we can actually get at the minute. And it's just like, it's get to the stage where it's just like, let us in.
I wish I had time to go and see it in the cinema again.
I've just read Mark Sheffield's comment.
What?
Oh wow!
Mark Sheffield do you know what? That's on my list to go. Next time I'm there, when we're allowed to come, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat and skip a canteen, but at the moment we can't come. So when we do get there, anyone's welcome to join me.
Yeah.
I wish I was able to see it again because I went to see it in the cinema the day before my self-isolation started, so I won't be able to see it in the cinema again. It just makes me really sad.
You'll be all right, Sammy. It'll still be on the cinema come December.
Watch it every day.
Hopefully, if it is, I'll be able to see it a couple of times for sure. John, what was your favourite part?
I think the bit for me was definitely the bit where the Jungle Cruise spiel was going on, but I really for just crumbling that barrier that I had going into the film, it was the bit when Jack Whitehall turns up with all of his luggage, and it's just one by one the rocks just tossing the cases into the river, and I just thought, for me, that was the bit
tennis
that really
racket and golf clubs.
The tennis racket and golf clubs, after dinner jackets.
I just like the fact that you decided to keep the alcohol.
Yeah,
I'm just laughing about thinking about it.
Yeah, but that's the bit where I actually felt as if the film and the characters within the film and the actors got me. And at that point, I no longer saw Jack Whitehall. I actually totally believed in what I was actually seeing as being a true representation of a ride that I absolutely love. And I think that helped me so much. And I think that was definitely the bit.
Yeah,
for it.
Yeah. Like I might actually do that. I might actually pay for it.
Yeah.
And I've already said
I think I might do.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that was fun. My brain's just gone blank again. It's because I'm laughing. So you were saying that you don't. No, it's come back. So you're saying that you don't particularly like Jack Whitehall, John, and I think you're right. I think he is a bit of a Marmite. He was a bit of a Marmite character, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I love him, and I think it was Michelle mentioned at the beginning of the show that he has a series where he goes on travels with his dad, and I think Jack Whitehall's and his dad.
Dan put that in the chat as well.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they.
I know you used to just ignoring Dan, like, you know.
Yeah, he's used to that. But I think there was certainly some social media posts from both Jack and his father about the fact that Jack was basically playing Michael Whitehall, same clothing, same character. He's like, "Oh, you stole my clothing," and Jack Whitehall's like, "Oh, I stole your personality as well." And he is his dad. And I think that was. I mean, Morgan and I were in hysterics about that. We were the cinema was, the screen we were in. It was a massive screen. There was a total of about 14 people in it. And all you could hear was us laughing. I think the other people must have thought we were mad, but it was so clever. And I just loved the whole dressing for dinner, his characterization. He obviously was very strongly influenced, but he was brilliant. And I think that was really strong through all of the characters in the film, that they got what they were trying to do. Even I'm afraid I don't know the actor's name who was playing the German chap. He was brilliant. He was very, very tongue in cheek, in a Jungle Cruise kind of way, but he was great as well.
Yeah.
I also want to say, like, I really loved, I agree with you, what they did with Jack Whitehall's character, because at the end of the day, with Jack's character, who is McGregor, they could have really hammed him up and made him like this wuss, this
caricature,
really weak character, but they didn't. He was obviously prissy and like in that way, but he also like fought back. He punched people, so I just really liked
strong form.
He punched people, but no, like they could have made him a really weak character, but they didn't, and that's what I really loved about what they did with Jack Whitehall's character.
They gave the character quite a lot of depth as well for someone that's kind of, in theory, could have ended up being quite a comic relief side character. They actually gave him quite a bit of emotion.
Well, he was the supporting role, wasn't he? That was the thing. He was the supporting role. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like
he held his weight up against
ensemble, actually.
It felt like
that's what you're saying. He held his weight up beside two of the best and biggest actors going about just now, The Rock and Emily, and he held his own, and he definitely doesn't fade into the background, and he definitely doesn't, he's not a forgettable character at all.
Which, considering his
for a stand-up comedian,
and he's not been in a lot of movies, like at all.
No.
And
I was talking to the kids about this, and again, my overriding dislike of Jack Whitehall, it rubs off on my own kids. But they've watched him on loads of stuff, because they don't listen to me because they're that age, aren't they? So if your dad doesn't like it, they'll go and watch it. That's it. That's And but what they felt was that he actually was more scripted and wasn't allowed to go down the Jack Whitehall stand-up routine as perhaps he does when we get to see him on the TV. And I think that goes back to the power of the whole script and how it had that tightness where his character and his personality wasn't sort of completely squashed out of it. It was allowed to develop within the character. And I think there's probably 5 or 6 occasions that I need to go back and watch the film again, but about 5 or 6 occasions where fine well he's pushing the producer to the nth degree because he's gone off script and he's just seeing how far he can get away with just sort of nudging it further and further.
They all did that though. There was a lot of improv on set. That's what they were saying in interviews. They would fling stuff out there and see what sticks in their own words. They would obviously do it properly, but then they would improvise a lot. And I think that, again, that's a testament to their humor. Like all of them have amazing senses of humor, which really translates very well, talented. Especially in improv.
With the ride, because I know it's undergoing a little bit of refurbishment in Walt Disney World at the minute, and Disneyland is now open. It'd be interesting to see how it develops over the next few years, whether with additional films, with other things that might cross over.
So, every skipper worth their soul will be making a joke about there's Dwayne Johnson. Surely.
Yep.
If they don't,
they've got to add
then I'm
going to
do it.
They have to. They have to. Yeah. I mean, that's an easy one.
Dwayne. Yeah, exactly. I think there's all sorts of options, but I'm glad that they don't have they have the characters in the ride. I think that's really good. But there are elements like Trader Sam that have, actually, I think there's the feel of the movie going to be embedded within the attraction now. And I think that's fun. It's up to date. I love the fact that in the movie they touched on the political sense of the fact that actually Emily's character couldn't report this stuff herself because she was just a woman. That was really, really important. And I think that it sort of, those feelings hopefully will come across in the next movie and as time goes forward. And whilst that may not be in the attraction, I think it was an important thing to pick up. So,
and also the fact that Jack Whitehall's character comes out as gay. I think, is this not one of the first outwardly gay characters in Disney history? Like confirmed gay.
I don't know, but I think it was a really well done scene.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely one of the few that have openly said it on screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's always been the assumption.
Oh, right, okay.
This is the first one that's actually said it on screen in a movie or something, which I thought was really poignant and really with the times.
Yep, completely. And I think it was exceptionally well scripted, acted, and sensitively, but also with humour, and it felt the tone didn't detract at all from
it didn't feel out of place in the film.
It didn't feel clunky. It was just how it was, which is exactly how it should.
It was just a part of the movie.
It was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Loved it. I thought it was really interesting as you got towards the end of the film and where the turning water into concrete, and where the water levels dropped, and you got this sort of underwater city, and how much that resembled that very latter part of the Jungle Cruise, just in its look, as you go into the tunnels and stuff like that. And I just thought, that's actually, again, the scope there for another film. If you want, if Disney want to get,
there will be another movie.
Disney want to pay me. I've got a script in me head. Just come into me head there. I'm thinking, hang on, that's his.
You're going to negotiate, John.
All that dark part of the ride. Yeah, we've got it now.
Maybe we should do a Wafflers Wednesday about our own Imagineering ideas.
Yeah.
Yes. Because do you know what? If you want to see that, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat if you think that would be fun. Because my daughter came up with a cracking idea for a Lilo and Stitch ride the other day. Just saying.
Nice.
Right. Okay.
Like
so Claire's going to
queue line.
Noted.
I'll give her the credit. I'll give her the credit for it.
Okay, cool.
No, you got to do it. And that's part of the fun. This is part of the fun of all of this, because actually, when you see a decent film, it's like reading a really good book, isn't it? And then you read a decent book, and then you start to think, who would be in the film? And then you're always disappointed when the person that you think would be a really good lead character. And in this case, it hasn't been like that. And I think that's the best bit about all of this. It's just like they've nailed the fun of the ride. And I think that's perhaps something that was missing in the Haunted Mansion. And I know, I know for as much as I like Eddie Murphy as a comedian, it just didn't work in the film. And that maybe goes back to how it was produced and how it was scripted. And in this case, this is just completely different. And I think retaining the fun and retaining that whole part of the original script, it works. And I just think, I think, it's just...
I think for us in the UK, it's because we can't get to be on a Jungle Cruise right now. We went to the cinema and it transported me back to being in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Just being on the boat.
That's exactly it.
The puns, just enjoying it. And it was just 2 hours of just fun.
Well, that's a British thing, isn't it? It rains for 365 days here. And if you think about that, it's almost every day.
Almost.
Almost.
I think oh God, here we go. I just think that
how do you follow that, Claire?
I'm just going to keep chucking these in.
Thing is, though, I think they could have gone. Ben and Becca and Dot.
That's it. The lights have gone.
Heard enough, John. They're off.
We've jumped over.
Too many puns.
They're in denial.
Maybe you sank.
Lovely.
See, look, I've been waiting all night for that one.
That's why he's named Skipper John.
Go on, if everyone's having a go at this, butterflies aren't what they used to be. Caterpillars.
Yeah.
You just random.
Yep.
Do you know what? I think
butterflies on both sides of the boat. Wingspans go from 1 foot to a whopping 12 inches. Makes them the ruler of the jungle. Ruler of the jungle.
Yeah. I think they could have. I'm going to get my point out eventually. I think that they could have taken themselves too seriously. Kelly, don't encourage him, please. They didn't take themselves too seriously, and I think that that's really important. Is that actually they recognised that people love the attraction because it is cheesy dad jokes, things that make you groan and go, oh my goodness, are you seriously did you actually say that? And rather than trying to sterilize it and make it a bit more blockbuster friendly, and make it too serious, or to take out the stuff that perhaps fans of the attraction might not get straight away, or at least get the undercurrent and the reference behind why that was happening. They didn't shy away from that, and they just went, you know what, warts and all, this attraction's cheese, we all love it, it's come on the boat, bring your crackers with you because you're going to need it for the jokes. And that, for me, I love the fact that they kept that, and they kept the heart of the attraction in the movie, and then expanded on it, which was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was just really good, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have just had pun after joke after joke, and I still enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Just send a video of the actual attraction. That'd have been good.
I mean, I was really worried because they'd pushed it back. I was a bit worried that I was going to have hyped it up so much in my head that I was going to be disappointed, and I'm really glad I wasn't. Because there was that danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can sit in the cinema, sit in the cinema. I think, as with most things, if that's not an option, Disney Plus is there, and it's not too expensive. It's a great idea to do. I remember this time, sort of last year, when we were talking about Disney Plus Premier Access coming up for Mulan. We thought, oh, this is just Disney trying to get more money. But yeah,
there you go, Marcus.
Wow.
I'm feeling a share in a waffle coming on, Mark.
Yeah.
Did I beat everyone to? We might need to.
No,
all at the exact same time.
Like proper excited here.
So I actually think that's the biggest thing of all, Ben. It's like it's the knowledge that cinemas are now open here. We've got a really fantastic local cinema. It's a family-run one. It's not a chain or anything like that. It only costs us £6, and I really do enjoy the fact that you're actually supporting something that's local to you. Given the fact that I think this probably still show paint your wagon every now and again, which they don't. And I'm sorry if that comes across being wrong, but that's the films to have blockbuster films coming out. They're now currently trying to make such a living that they've got four different films running a day. So, Zach, thanks for joining us. If you buy that Jaguar, we'll sponsor the food for it. We'll send you waffles. We'll send you a check. But you get the Jaguar. We'll take care of the food for it. You're all right.
I have to say, I love Proxima. I thought she was amazing, and the fact that she was one in a long line, and the joke that Proxima means next. So, that was really funny, and I love the. Did anyone else spot that it was a setup in the bar when she?
No,
oh really?
Not at first,
I had no idea.
No, not to begin with.
Oh, I did. I was like, that's not real. That's a setup.
Yeah.
What made you think that? I just didn't.
Because it was too random that this leopard would suddenly appear and.
Fair.
Yeah.
Connor, what did you think of the movie?
Not to put you on the spot or anything, Connor.
Yeah. But that's what everyone does. It happens in the pub all the time, doesn't it? You get a random animal coming in just so you fight it off.
Oh yeah. Like that, Well, maybe in the Amazon you do.
Maybe you do.
Surfbomb, John, I totally agree with you, and I think that's another thing as well. I'm very.
If you're willing to wait a couple, 2-3 months, it's worth it. Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. I think for the fact that Disney get enough money that. You have to put it a stop to it somewhere, don't you? There you go. It's a 7 from Connor. There you go.
Well, he'd never been on the ride or anything. He doesn't know anything about it.
So.
That's not bad score for someone that's not done the ride and some of the
and had me whispering the puns in his ear as they were happening.
Now we're talking about ratings. How would we all rate it out of 10?
Oh.
I think an 8.
I'm going to go 9.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 as well.
Yes, I'm here.
John? Pretend you didn't have to pay to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's not.
Jack Whitehall.
It's not as if it's not as if it's Once Upon a Time in America, sort of.
Yeah.
From a cinematic point of view. However, the fact that they didn't let down such a fantastic ride, and they actually had 2 hours worth of escapism in towards Magic Kingdom and closer to Magic Kingdom than I've been since 2019. Yeah. I'll go with an 8.5.
Ooh. I think mine would go up on a second watch, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd agree, Sammy.
I came home and I went, you know what? I'd go back and watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's how I was sort of gauging that. I was happy with that. I was like, I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
That's how a non-Disney fan describes the movie.
Poor Emily Blunt.
I know.
Oh, was she in it?
Hey, look at that. Connor's not allowed to mention Emily Blunt.
No. That's not.
Yeah, I can.
9.1.
9.1. That's very specific.
I want to know what tipped the 0.1. I mean,
same. It's very specific.
Yeah.
What was it that tipped it over? And
it was probably Jack Whitehall.
I love Jack Whitehall. Was great.
Was there anything that you didn't like about the movie? Because I think there were perhaps for me the snakes.
Mine was the snakes.
The spiders. There were spiders at one point. I had to look away.
The wasps. Kind of.
I was going to say, I was thinking of Becca when there was all the wasps and the bees.
Yes.
But
yes, Doreen. Yes, you should.
I
think you should, Doreen. I think you'd find it funny.
Wait until after we finish talking, but
I think the girls would enjoy it, Doreen. I think that I think they would. It's a family movie to watch, so I think it would be cool to sit one evening. There's some
also not here to
in
encourage you to spend money, but it's your choice. If you
no. But I think
I'm encouraging.
And also, I was going to say, also knowing that you've only just gone home from Walt Disney World, it'd be a good way to extend your vacation vibes. That's all.
Yeah, that's a nice way. That's a nice way of putting it. Going back to the wasps, Claire. Which
bees? Bees, honey. It was bees.
Yeah.
It's a bee.
But I've got to say, I saw them as wasps, and I hate wasps. I think wasps are the most pointless thing. I've actually found a purpose for wasps in a film.
Have you?
CGI in a film. There you go. Wasps have now got a purpose in life. Sort that map out in Jungle Cruise.
Absolutely.
Are there any good things of the ride that we think that?
I think they should put the white water bit in it. I think they should put the white water bit into the ride.
Yeah,
we'll do a rapid.
That's maybe pushing Imagineering to the limit.
Well, they don't need it because the boats sink anyway, don't they? That's the problem. They don't.
That is true.
I think they should have Jack Whitehall, and not animatronic, just Jack Whitehall. Like
he's our skipper, so
yeah.
No,
Jack Whitehall doing this role just all day long.
No. Oh my God, I would literally ride it all day, every day, like straight up.
I think that the skippers that do the attraction are just incredible, and the talent of them being able to read the boat and either go with or disregard the approach that the guests are giving. I think it's incredible. I love that attraction. I love the skippers for it, and they always make my day. Either way. So.
And I think that's the bit, Claire. I think that's the whole point of why I think we've all enjoyed the film so much, because I certainly, for one, I would have hated to have gone and watched the film and then found that it completely trashed the ride and just being so, in a way, so sort of uncaring about something that is just so amazing to go and enjoy, and the work that those cast members are putting in actually pushing the script from what was originally Disney-fied sort of this is a cruise through the jungle, and then they realised that was just as boring as anything, and then changing
Mark Davies jumping in and going, no, let's make it funny.
Let's make it funny, and let's raise the bar a little bit. And I that's the bit that I really enjoy. And I know we mentioned about things that we didn't like, and I actually can't think of an awful lot in the film I didn't enjoy. Yeah. Which is unusual. I didn't fall asleep, which is also another thing for going to cinema in there.
So you pay £6 to go and have a snooze?
My snooze festival, yeah, but that's just bad. I think that's an age thing, you know. Having said that, I've done that since I was a teenager.
So that you spend like $100 a day to go to Magic Kingdom, and you end up going to Hall of Presidents. So.
Oh yeah, no, that is a snooze. Sorry.
I like the Hall of Presidents. You see them
for the air conditioning.
It's not even worth the aircon for me.
Oh no, you got to do it. You got to do it. Got to do it.
But,
not worth it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not my bag. But
nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
So yeah, I think.
Any other questions about Jungle Cruise?
I'm just looking there. I'm looking at the comments that Michelle's saying they're at the cantina this weekend. Presumably you mean the skipper canteen.
No, that might be.
And
it could be.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
The skipper canteen.
And they do the joke. They make some jokes in there as well. It's not somewhere I've had a chance to eat yet, and I'm desperate to go.
Yeah, it's on our list as well.
It's been on our list ever since our cancelled trip last year.
I don't think it has nuggets, so like it might be further down.
They have a chicken on the menu.
It's just chicken, I think it's called.
We'll see.
Just chicken.
See.
Yeah. Do you know, Sammy, I think we've got a competition going. At which point on a Wednesday night does Sammy first mention nuggets?
Do you know
I got most of
anyone playing at home, 51 minutes it was. There we go.
I think I did pretty well.
We've got an interactive game in the making. Look at that.
Yes, I know. We should put that on the community.
The poll. Yeah, totally. Put your weight.
Can all guess.
Right.
Or Tom Holland, one of the two.
Right, Tom Holland was
if you get them both.
45.
Double header.
Oh, you like
brilliant.
Can't help myself.
You can tell I've not been on here for a couple of weeks.
He's missed my nugget chat. See, that's how much he's missed.
Giggle fest. It really is. It's just.
John, you put a picture in of this that I hadn't seen before. We've missed this from the queues.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that was the board just as you exit.
The missing
whether or not it's still there.
I just
I'll be late.
I like the I leaned over is followed by and fell in.
Yeah. They're just so funny.
Oh, it's just Betty.
And that's and I need to go back and watch the movie again to see whether any of this stuff has crept into it, because I bet there is stuff that
I'm sure there is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether it's still there. It was on the right. I'm sure it's the right hand side as you walked off the ride. And I know when they've rethemed a lot of the ride, a lot of that part was certainly under scrims for a while. And I really hope that things like that belong at the end of Jungle Cruise. It's part of it, isn't it? And it's just like, and like I was saying to Ben before the show, I didn't realise I had a photo of that when we were doing the hidden magic bit. I love that. Was such a fabulous gag.
Thank you. I'll giggle all evening.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. So I think when we talked earlier about the option of doing our Imagineering ideas, there was a general consensus from quite a lot of people. They thought that was a good idea. Yeah. So let's add that to the list of the ever-growing list of things to chat about on a Wednesday.
I know.
I'm quite excited about next week.
Well, Claire, what are we doing next week?
What are we doing next week? This is one that I've wanted to do for ages, and I've snuck it in because someone wasn't.
Because I'm having a week off.
Ben wasn't watching. So we snuck it in while it's just me and John.
It's like, hey, Claire,
next
what
week.
Are you doing? It's just like this is just going to be so
we're
much fun.
We're talking Phineas and Ferb. Oh my goodness! And I think we might have some ringers. I don't know. I think I might be enlisting Morgan to join us. And I think, you know what? It's this is like the.
Yeah, I've got someone desperately trying to get out of work for next Wednesday as well.
So that's our chat next Wednesday. Is a bit of Phineas for a bit of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and who knows what else we'll chat about.
Agent
Maybe
P.
Perry the Platypus. Yes.
Yeah.
And we might even bust some brothers. Who knows? And I'm confident we'll talk about songs. We'll talk about Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh and all of that stuff. So big Phineas and Ferb geeks in our house watched every episode.
And we'll also talk about how long. We'll talk about how long Claire makes a family queue up for meet and greets.
Once. It was the one time. Do you know what?
This wasn't on the same trip, was it?
Well, I haven't gone back to the photos yet, so I'm going to go back. I think it was.
You go through your photos. I've been through my photos. You're not in any. You're not in any of them. You're all right.
No, it was the same trip where we were in the same place at the same time without realising. So I need to go back and have a look at the queue lines for that.
And it is that year. It's definitely that year as well, Claire. So
yeah.
Be warned. Be warned. We might have another
a photo near you.
Another calamitous Wednesday night.
Oh yeah.
Show offs.
You're going to go for like.
Drop it in.
Yeah.
I know.
I hope it's not like the Jungle Cruise.
Man, Talk of next Friday. Do we know what's happening?
I haven't got a clue what's happening.
A week. That's a week on Friday. The 20th of August.
A week on
That's
Friday.
our Wafflers Assemble live.
Is it? Okay.
It is. It is.
Right. Pay attention, Claire.
It's in your diary, Claire. It
is in my diary. I hope so.
Because apparently I'm taking on the Mastermind Challenge.
You are.
Yes.
You better not beat me, I swear to God.
That's all right.
Don't worry, we're going to get our payback.
I'm revising.
Good. Give him the hardest questions you can think of, guys.
Yeah.
I am working on it.
Hopefully I'll be in the comments.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Doreen, I've just seen your comment. We will talk about that next week because there is a reason for the shape of their heads.
Yeah.
There is a reason. And I'll cover that next week.
Claire knows the score.
I do because actually there's no secret. Dan Povenmire, he was one of the writers of Phineas and Ferb, is really, really active on TikTok. So if anyone wants to know, just go and find his TikTok because it's all on there. But anyway, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And just to give a little plug to a future episode on the 1st of October, make a date for your diaries. It's going to be our 50th episode.
Where we share a birthday with doesn't it? Well, not a birthday,
anniversary.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Anyone would think we did it on purpose.
I know.
No one's mentioned it.
It's fabulous how it's just sort of managed to,
It's just the way.
I
wish someone had mentioned that.
And if anybody,
doing some trailing.
Yeah, that's a good one as well.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to do some trailing stuff on our social media from tomorrow onwards for 50 days beforehand. There'll be some interactive stuff on socials, so do join us and comment and join in.
And hopefully, all things being well, we might actually have somebody in Walt Disney World joining us on the show. But
none of us, because we're not allowed to travel.
Fingers crossed. No, we're not allowed. That's all banned. It's still banned, Claire. We're banned from doing that. We're banned from going to Walt Disney World. Banned from America. Banned from breathing. Yeah.
Can someone have a word?
Yeah.
Yes. If someone could sort that, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll get back one day.
Cool.
I just love the fact that it looks like Claire's turned the lights outside, where it's so nice and bright outside where Sammy is.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It was day when we started. It's now dark.
Yeah.
It says we're planning dinner in an hour. I think it's been a lot longer.
Feels like a lot longer now.
Oh, see, Kelly. Kelly's got a Magic Kingdom. Kelly. That's it.
We'll be chatting.
We're so happy for you.
The challenges out there.
Yeah. Actually, if anyone does want to come and live link with us that particular evening,
that'd be superb. Really,
or whether share some photos.
Drop us a DM. Drop us a DM, and we'll look at what we can sort out because it'd be greght to have somebody there.
Oh, wouldn't it just and even just to make us feel very jealous. You know,
yes.
I thought you were going to say make us feel popular, like we've got some friends.
That too. I've never felt popular, so.
If you're not a member, or come and join us in the Waffler's Arms, where we'll just chat Disney as we always do all the time,
and where we'll be popping most of these things that we're going to be doing for
information.
Next 50 days.
Yeah, and across it, and we'll put a load of stuff on our socials as well, which will point you towards the Waffler's Arms on Facebook. Because it's a great place to actually go, meet loads of folk who've actually joined us already, but also it's got links to other little fun things that we do as well, without even noticing. That's the good thing about it.
And also, there may be a little giveaway happening on our 50th show. So.
Oh, there will be. There will be.
There will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Giving it away, John.
We have a few plans.
No, there will be. I've got stuff beside me here that's getting in everyone else's way in our house already.
Keep it secret.
Surprise.
Don't tell anyone.
Cool. So how does it go if you've enjoyed the show tonight? That's Ben, and this has been Jungle Cruise Chat. If you haven't, he's Peter, and
Ben,
it was about the
how else can we finish shows? It's like what we got. As we approach, please notice that there's a dock on the left and a dock on the right, but don't let it confuse you. It's a paradox. Also on the dock is a pair of dorks. They will help you out of the boat.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, these are dreadful. Yeah. They really are.
We've laughed and we've cried. We've almost died. I love you like family. Now get out. Sorry, that was rude. Please get out. It's just like such a fabulous script, and it
just takes us straight back to being Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
it does.
And I think that's what we've all enjoyed about this, isn't it?
Yeah.
The best bit in the whole attraction is when you're held waiting to disembark, and the skippers get the opportunity to do their little stand-up routine, because that's the best bit of the whole thing. They come out with some crackers. So
yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Mark, you've just won the chat tonight with that. That's amazing. Can I just hold it there, Ben, because I'm going to take a screenshot, and you know where that's going in a moment. I'll do it in the group, in the Magic group, so that everyone else can enjoy the response. Michelle, don't tell them.
Lovely. Yeah. Wonderful.
Oh, fantastic. Mark, you're a genius.
Brilliant. And I think on that note, there's only one thing left to say.
There is.
Yeah. Are we all ready to get off the boat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Come on,
Yeah. Waffle on.
Waffle on.